And we are live. Hello, homemakers. Hello, everybody on the live stream and on the replay. I am so glad you were able to join me tonight. I have to tell you, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get on. There were so many things that kept coming up to just want to push me from being able to get here with you tonight. However, I prevailed and here I am. So I'm glad you guys got the notification and that you are here to join me tonight. And on today's episode of Homemaking with Purpose, we are going to talk about why I have 15-minute tasks. We're going to be continuing the series that I've started on lessons I've learned from YouTube creators. And this 15-minute task thing is a lesson that I've learned from Fly Lady Cat. And we'll talk about why I do 15-minute tasks, and then we will go from there. So, going to say hello to the people that are here, but before I do that, it looks like I'm missing something here in my notes. So let me just try to find that. Because I had just made some notes for you guys that I wanted to talk about, and now I don't see them. So let me just find those real quick. And then while we're greeting everyone, so Blue Skies, if you want to say hello to our viewers, I'd appreciate that. And we will go from there. This is so odd because I was just looking at some things that I wanted to talk about, and all of a sudden it's gone. So I'm not sure what happened to it. I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you guys before or not. So let me just look. I'm going to check to see in my, like, did I delete my new file that I thought I had just printed off? But what we're going to talk about, though, is why we have 15-minute tasks. And I tell you what, one of the reasons why I tend to have 15-minute tasks, hit my mission icon. Oh, here it is. She was right. She sent me a little message to so now let me print this off. It's like it was just gone. And I was like, well, what could have happened to it? It was just here. So while we're waiting for that to print off, let me just go ahead and say hello, homemakers, again, and everyone on the chat. On today's episode of Homemaking with Purpose, we are going to talk about why I have 15-minute tasks rather than just jumping in and getting it all done. But before we get into that, welcome to Homemaking with Purpose, where we bring to you the best ideas, interviews, and information for today's homemaker. I am Denise Jordan, your host. And tonight's episode of Homemaking with Purpose is brought to you by Apron Diva. Pretty and practical, we believe that an apron can be a homemaker's best accessory. So let me just share the screen so that we can see that. There we go. Can be a homemaker's best accessory. And We've got two featured aprons tonight. Featured apron number one is our newest addition to the collection, and it is one we call Trixie for Trick or Treat. So you can see here, you can delight your family for Halloween or Halloween if that's what you prefer to do. And we had people asking last year about whether or not we carried any Halloween aprons, and we did not. So this year we decided to go ahead and carry some to see how they are doing. And this particular one wasn't on the site 10 minutes when somebody ordered one. So we definitely have these. And then back in stock is our Grace. This one has thankful on the bib. And as you know, we brought it back from last year. People have said some of us are thankful all year round and not just at Thanksgiving. So thankful and Trixie are our two featured ones for tonight. But please note, we have begun to get up our holiday collection up as well. We plan to be Christmas Apron Central this year. So we'll be putting together a collection of aprons that we're going to call Christmas Apron Diva. So be sure to check that out. So it's not there yet, but pretty soon Christmas Apron Diva is coming. And then before we get started, I'm going to tell you guys to, if you have a question, be sure to put an HQ in front of your question so that Mickey Blue Skies can capture it. And then I will be able to see it. And so we'll just go ahead and then get started after that. But let me say hello to people real quick because I wanted to at least do that. So we've got Blue Skies is saying hello, and Ronnie Whitmer is saying hello. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Deb. And hey, Wendy. And it's always good to have you with us tonight. Dawn's here, and Patricia's here, and Leona is here. And Leona, I might have you jump on for a little bit tonight. It'll be good to have you, and we're going to be talking about homemaking and homekeeping. And Heather Smether says some of those are so cute. So yeah, so let's just go. So Sierra says, as a first-time mom, she can't wait to dress her little guy up for Halloween. And you know, if you see it back there, it's cute enough that you could put that on over your dress and you could wear that as your Halloween costume as well. So you get two for the price of one. And Cheryl Marshall, are you here? It's been a while since I've seen you guys, but okay, boom. Let me go ahead and kind of get things started. So let me get this off the screen. And so the first thing I want to jump in on is this question: why 15-minute task? I've been doing a series this past year on my YouTube channel called 15-minute tasks, and it'll be 15-minute tasks homemaking with purpose, or everyday homemaking 15-minute tasks, but I'm doing a different set of 15-minute tasks each time. And I keep getting questions about the 15-minute task. And one viewer asked, do I just clean for 15 minutes, or do I do the 15-minute task and I do something else? She wasn't sure how that worked. So here's how that works for me. I have a series of daily routines that I do to maintain my home. And my zone cleaning is part of my weekly routines. I do zone cleaning 4 days a week. Since I'm a stay-at-home homemaker, I do zone cleaning 4 days a week in 15-minute increments. But I only do 4 tasks. Now this doggone Siri is starting to talk to me from my iPad. I don't know why she's talking. Let me just turn her off. We'll see if that happens. They say Big Brother is listening, and she was. But so I do a series of just four 15-minute tasks per week. And then my deep clean or zone cleaning is done. So let's say last week, and then I'll refer you guys back to the video that I did last week. The video that I did last week was another 15-minute task video. And what I did was I cleaned the grate over my stove. What all did I do? Let me think. I cleaned the grate over my stove. I cleaned the hood over the stove. I cleaned my washer, like my clean washer cycle was triggered. So I cleaned the washer. And then I think I did some kind of cleaning at the sink, I believe. But I had 4 tasks that I did for last week. Now, is that all that I did for the week? No. One of the things that I do have is I have a daily routines and weekly routines, and even some, I don't want to say monthly routines for the most part, because the zone cleaning takes care of that. But I don't spring clean. So let me see what people are asking over there. So people are saying hello. I appreciate you guys jumping on over there. And so not Kim. So Deb says she's really enjoyed the task idea. Some of them she's never thought to do and added them to her list. Well, see, the task is my way of deep cleaning. It's the zone cleaning. And so on the Fly Lady cleaning system, which is what I use, we work in a different zone each week. Zone 1 is, say, the entryway, the front porch, the back patio, and it could be the dining room if your dining room is right off of your entryway. So that's zone 1. And you would pick 4 things to do in that zone that shouldn't take no more than 15, 20 minutes at the most to do for that week. Week 2 is zone 2. That's the kitchen. So I'll pick 4 things in the kitchen to do that week. Week 3 is zone 3, and that is the the main bathroom and another room. So maybe I work on the hall bathroom downstairs where the different guests, when they come in, they use. That's the one that's accessible to the public that come into the house, and another room. Often that other room will be this office, because this office is always a hot mess because I'm always in here spread out doing stuff. Week 4 is the master bedroom. So week 4 is the master bedroom, and master bedroom closet, master bathroom, that kind of thing. I'm getting notes from Blue Sky, so let me get this up so that I can see it. Hopefully Siri doesn't start talking again. And then week 5 is going to be like the family room, the living room, that kind of thing. And so I will pick 4 tasks in whichever week I'm in whichever zone. That'll be my deep cleaning for that week. Now, since I'm a stay-at-home homemaker, I only pick 4 during the week. If you're a payroll homemaker, meaning you go out of the house to work or you work from home, you're going to do your 4 tasks on the weekend. So it may take you an hour on a Saturday to get those 4 things done. So there's that. So Maxine Ray said that she went to Fly Lady Cat's channel last week because I suggested it. And between Fly Lady Cat and myself, she's hoping she'll be able to declutter and keep the house that way. And she's grateful that I recommended her. You are so welcome. Now, Maxine, keep in mind, it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And when I say it's a process, it's a way of exercising those muscles to do those things every day. So let me go to my second question, which is this. Why not just clean the house from top to bottom and be done with it? Why not just clean the house from top to bottom and be done with it? And if anybody out there in the chat has tried that, just clean the house from top to bottom just to get it done, tell me how well that works for you. Drop me a comment. If you're on the replay, let me know. If you just tried cleaning the house from top to bottom and be done with it, how well that works for you. So while you guys are putting your notes in the chat, let me explain why I don't do it that way any longer. And the reason for that is that you try to clean the house from top to bottom and be done with it. You're exhausted by the time you're done. You get overwhelmed. You might pull out a lot of things and then not be able to finish the process, as Fly Lady Cat says, which is you got things pulled out to clean. Did you get those things put back? So here's what Blue Sky says. She says she's tried that. She didn't get everything finished and she was so worn out. And yeah, that's what happened. So Chanel says she's tried that and was tired and distracted. So what Maxine says is it exhausts her and never stays clean. So all you guys are going to get a boom. Those are why I don't just clean the house and try to be done with it. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You end up exhausted and overwhelmed. And the other thing about cleaning the house all at once, and Leona says she used to clean the house every weekend. She was exhausted, and if something happened and she missed her cleaning day, then she was overwhelmed. So if something interrupted your pattern, you might be overwhelmed. And so that's not what you want to have happen either. So what you want to consider doing is working at it every day. And Leona, I'm going to ask you to join us. I'm going to send Blue Skies the link to have you join us if you like. And well, I'll just email you the link if you like. And then if you choose to, you can jump on, because we had talked earlier about the possibility of you coming to join me so that we could do this particular stream together. So Blue Skies is sending me another note. I've already sent it to her, Blue Skies. I just emailed it to her. So Leona said she would try to clean the entire house every weekend and was exhausted, and if something happened and she missed her cleaning day, she was overwhelmed. And I'll take myself as an example also. Last week, I had a brother-in-law unexpectedly pop into town to stay with me. And he was just here overnight. But here's the thing. There were some things I didn't have to worry about because, Leona, you need to connect your mic and your camera before you can be added to the live stream. But he just stayed with me, but the bathrooms were clean. The guest room was clean. Now, I'm not saying the whole house was guest ready, because it was not. But for the most part, I was good to go. So here we go. We're going to welcome Leona to the stream. Hey, Leona, how are you?
Hey, I thought about it halfway here and was like, is the hair straight?
Oh, shoot, that was fine. No, that's fine. And I knew you were traveling, so it may or may not have worked out for you. But as you know, we're just talking about why I'm doing the 15-minute task
Mhm.
instead of just cleaning the whole house. And as you already pointed out, that's how you used to operate on the weekends. You would just try to marathon clean the whole weekend. And if something happened to interrupt, then you were overwhelmed. So can you talk about that just a little bit?
Oh, yes. I mean, I would get up at like 5, 6 o'clock on Saturday morning. I would start. By 9 o'clock, the vacuum was going, and whomever thought they were going to sleep in, that didn't happen. And so it just seemed like it was an all day process. Well, then after the kids got to a certain age and they were involved in sports and other activities, then very often those activities would interfere with my cleaning schedule. And so what would happen is that I would have to either stop what I was doing, try to get up earlier than the 5:30, which, on a Saturday, who wants to do that?
No one.
And or I would just end up not getting it done. and then it would be stuck for a weekday. Well, by the time I would get home from work, I wouldn't have time, nor did I have the energy. So by the following Saturday, you know what happens? You end up with double the trouble and
Exactly.
you're exhausted.
Exactly. So, Leona, you were talking about your hair, and we've got a couple people saying that, of course, you look beautiful as always.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so there is that. But that's the thing. Not only are you overwhelmed and tired, not meaning you particularly, but you
Hmm.
in general, are you overwhelmed and tired, but also it doesn't teach you the kind of habits that you need to keep things up. So the 15-minute task that I do, and that's why I've been doing those on my videos, is
Hmm.
to show the young homemakers that you want to build that muscle. You want to exercise that muscle by creating a routine where you're going to every week do 4 things to keep your house in the order that you choose it to be in.
That's true.
Now, it still not may not be Pinterest perfect, but it'll certainly look pretty good in case somebody drops in. They can get to the bathroom.
Absolutely. And they have no idea. My feeling is if you look that close, then you shouldn't be there.
Exactly, exactly. So just now, I no longer spring clean. I just don't spring clean anymore. I follow the
Mhm.
580 cleaning system, and I do my deep cleaning or my zone cleaning, which is the deep cleaning every
Mhm.
week. So there's really no need for me to spring clean. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on that?
I agree. I agree. I think that is actually the best way because then your home is staying clean all the time
Hmm.
and it's at a good level. And spring cleaning just adds an additional item to your already busy schedule.
Hmm.
And if they're like me, I tend to get frazzled if I'm not able to do whatever it is. You know, if something happens or we're going somewhere and you get behind. And
Yeah.
not only are you behind with spring cleaning, but then you end up with your everyday cleaning. You're still behind.
Exactly. And if you think about it, why people used to spring clean, we really don't have those reasons anymore. Like way back in the day when people used to
Hmm.
spring clean, their houses were shut up all say fall and winter to kind of keep the cold air out. And if
Right.
they used coal or fuel oil, they had dust and things like that and smells in
Hmm.
the home that in the spring they would open all the windows and drag all the furniture out and try to clean all that out. Well, we don't have to do
That's
that.
true. Well, that's true. And we have equipment that we can use. I mean, I can remember my mother sweeping her rugs and the carpet by hand.
Yeah.
And now, you know, we have vacuums or robots that
Yeah.
handle those jobs, which I
Yeah.
just absolutely love. So that gives us an advantage at this point because of technology to be
Mhm.
able to get a lot of those jobs done and not necessarily hands on. We just have to make sure it's in place.
Right. So we've got a comment here. Now let me just see, because I'm sure you guys have heard the little bing. So Sierra says we have an office and a garage that have fallen by the wayside. How do I schedule those projects along with the daily, weekly, or zone cleaning? That is an excellent question. So if
Mhm.
you are going to be doing a garage project, so yeah, any large project that's going to be taking you some time, you're not going to be doing zone cleaning at that time. You've got a large project to do. You're just going to work on the project. And this is how you run a large project. You take a look at the project, let's say it's your garage, and you figure out how many pieces of the puzzle is it to clear that garage up. So what you want to consider doing, let's say you've got 3 shelves, and then you've got the floor in front of the shelves, and maybe you've got another wall that has things on it. So what you would want to do is look at the top shelf, the middle shelf, and the bottom shelf and the floor. So the top shelf is maybe one piece. And maybe you can clean that top shelf in 30 minutes. Maybe you're going
Mhm.
to take you an hour. So let's say it takes you, we'll say an hour for each of the 3 shelves. So you only want to assign 15 to 20-minute increments. So if the top shelf is going to take an hour, because let's say you've got a lot of stuff on there, and not only do you have to take it down and figure out where it's going to go, so that top shelf is 3 increments. The
Mhm.
middle shelf doesn't have quite so many things on it. Maybe you can get the middle shelf done in half an hour. That's 2 increments. And then you've got the bottom shelf, which maybe has enough stuff to take you 45 minutes. And then the floor in front of the shelves is just covered with boxes and things like that. Maybe one box is going to take you 15 minutes to clear out, or you've got a box that's going to take you 30 minutes. But you give yourself a start date. So you would
Mhm.
take a look at your calendar. Take a look at your calendar and then choose the date to start. So let's say September 1st is going to be your start date. And so now that you've counted up all the increments that you think it's going to take you, in the different little pieces, let's say there's 20 pieces, and you figure it's going to take you 20 days at 20 pieces. Well, let's say you um, work full time, so you've only got the weekends to work. So that means you'll plot those dates out on Saturday and Sunday until you get all 20 of those pieces filled in. Then you got to give yourself a couple of weeks leeway because life always happens. So you'll need to do that as well. And so once you've plotted on your calendar the number of days that it may take you to finish that project, now you've got a start date and now you've got an end date. And that's the difference with the project. There's a beginning and there's an end. Whereas with your daily maintenance, there's no beginning and no end. It just, so hopefully that helps. So now let's back up for a quick question I see over here from Maxine. And Maxine says, so what if the room isn't done in a week? Could it take a year? She thinks her bedroom will take a year. So if your bedroom is in that much disorder, then your bedroom is a project. And you're not going to be doing zone cleaning when you've got a huge project like that to do. So what are you doing if you're not doing zone cleaning the rest of the time? Or you're going to be doing your daily maintenance cleaning. Now, let me just talk about my daily routines real quick. And then, Leona, you can share your daily routines. And then we'll get back over here to um, Maxine. So, for my daily routines, I get up, I put on my yoga clothes, I do my yoga on my mat, and I'm already downstairs when I'm doing the yoga. So sometimes I'll take the laundry I'm going to do downstairs with me. I'll throw it into the washing machine while I do my yoga. When I'm
Mhm.
done with yoga, I go into the kitchen, I unload the dishwasher, and then I throw the clothes in the dryer if they're ready. If they're not, then I do my daily swish and swipe. Well, what is that? That's where I'm swishing out the toilet and wiping down the bathroom mirror and the bathroom sink every day. That way, those areas are always clean and ready for company. And then I do my clutter stops. And today I was like, what is that? I was doing my clutter stops, and it's like there's places in your home that tends to attract clutter. My house, right off my kitchen, we've got like a little shelf with some like little posts that separate the kitchen from the family room. Those little posts are the perfect place to sit something on. Mail, books, whatever's in the way, it's easy to set it down on that shelf. Well, that becomes a clutter magnet, but you don't want clutter accumulating there. So once I'm
Mhm.
done in the kitchen, I put the dishes away, I clean up after dinner, after breakfast or after lunch or whatever. Now I'm gonna look around and something's out of place. So then I'll get that thing and take it wherever it goes so that I don't have those cluttered pieces in there. Now I've got my morning routine done. I've cleaned up after breakfast. Now I've got a project to do. So instead of zone cleaning, I'm going to work on my project. And I'm only going to work on that project 15, but definitely no more than 30 minutes because it's Monday. Then I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to spend my 30 minutes on that project in the bedroom. And then the next day, we're going to start all over again. I have some
Mhm.
afternoon and evening routines as well, which, it's like cleaning up after lunch, putting away the laundry
Mhm.
when it comes out of the dryer, cleaning up after dinner, and then taking care of my personal needs to get ready for bed, get ready for the next day. So tell us about your routine, and then we'll get back and we can answer Maxine.
Well, pretty much it sounds pretty close to yours in that I'm an early riser, and so typically I get up, I take care of all the personal things that need to be done before I go downstairs, and once I'm downstairs, I start the coffee, look around because what I try to do is a part of my nightly routine is to make sure that there is no clutter and nothing out when I go to bed. Now, that works for me, but
Mhm.
because I'm not the last person to go to, to go to bed, sometimes there will be things that are left. And so, because of that, so typically what happens is that whatever that is that has been left, I'll just pick that up and take care of that, either hand wash it, because I had also taken care of the dishwasher so I could unload that, put whatever's dirty in there, and we're ready to go and start the kitchen. If I need to wipe down the counter, because something's been left out, then I try to take care of that. I also do the swish and swipe in the downstairs bathroom. So, should anyone come through, the downstairs is clean. Now, what I do add to that is that I typically take a microfiber cloth and go through the entryway, those places that are going to be those high traffic areas
Mhm.
where more than likely if someone comes to the door, that's going to be the part they see. So I try to make sure that I've at least hit that. I'm not doing heavy waxing and, all of that, but just to make sure that those areas are wiped up. And then I'm ready to go with whatever my task is for the day, which may be my bedroom, that I want to do something special in the bedroom. But most of the time, I try to make sure the bed is made, all those things are done. And that is a part of the morning routine is, we get up, the bed is made immediately so that that's not something that's lingering. Because for me, if it's still there after about 30 minutes, I'm going to get caught up in something else. And the bedroom
Absolutely.
is going to be a mess. So I don't
Yes.
want that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. It's like once you get your morning routine started, then you've just got to go to whatever your task is. And one of the things that Fly Lady Cat has really been emphasizing the last 2 weeks, and if you guys are not familiar with Fly Lady Cat, her channel is called Declutter Your Life with Cat. I highly encourage you to check her out. She says if you're a stay-at-home person, if you're a stay-at-home homemaker, then as soon as you get your morning routine done, get your 15-minute task, your deep cleaning, your zone cleaning done right away.
That's
Because
right.
life happens. So get it done right away. And then
Mhm.
you can get on with whatever you need to do for the rest of your day. You've got children to care for. Maybe you're homeschooling. Maybe you're working from home, or you've got other things to do.
Mhm.
So now, Maxine, let's take a look at your bedroom. Now, you say you think your bedroom may take a year. So let's say it may take 6 months. Let's say your bedroom is quite cluttered. So what you'd want to do is divide that room up into parts. And let's say, and one thing that I learned from Fly Lady Cat is the stuff that you're getting rid of or that you need to put somewhere else, you got to have somewhere to put it. So the
Mhm.
first thing you'll want to do in that bedroom is declutter. You've probably
Mhm.
got too much stuff. And I have to tell you, Kat told me just that the other day. I was talking to her and I was talking to her about an area that I was struggling with. And she said, Denise, you've probably got too much stuff. And I was like, but she was right. It's like I've still got too much stuff because if you can't find a place to put it, and it's overcrowding where you think it should go, and
Mhm.
they're in that spot already, Maxine, you may have too much stuff. So not just Maxine and everyone on here. The first thing you want to do is declutter because you can't organize
Mhm.
clutter. So you got to
Yeah.
get declutter and start maybe with your closet, because that tends to be the place
Mhm.
where a lot of people will put stuff, unless your dresser, the top of your dresser is real cluttered. My dresser top used to get so cluttered, and I don't know how I would do it. My husband would say, like, "How do you do that?" I don't know, but I'm better now. But if your dresser top gets real cluttered, then maybe you might want to start there by getting the dresser cleared off. Now, and then one of the things that Dana K. White says, and this is her book, Organizing for the Rest
Mhm.
of Us, she says start with the trash. She has a 1 hour better thing that she does. And it's like you work for an hour and you leave it better than you started. So it's better and it's not worse. But she says always start with the trash. So let's say we're going to start with the dresser in your bedroom, Maxine. First, you want to have a black trash bag. You want to have a box to donate things in, and you want to have a box or a basket for things that you need to put away. So start working on that dresser top, right
Mhm.
there. Grab the trash first, because the trash is easy. You know right away a lot of
Mhm.
extra receipts or labels or wrappers or whatever. Get rid of the trash first, and you put it in a black trash bag so that nobody's looking to see what you put in that trash. And then you can't put in there so you don't take it back out, because you guys know I'm good at that. Get back
Me
out.
too.
Once you got the trash off, then look at what's on your dresser that doesn't belong. Where does it need to go? So if there's something on your dresser that doesn't belong, take it off the dresser and put it in the basket, because it's going to have to go somewhere else. But put it in the basket right now so you're not running all around. And
Mhm.
then the things that are left, is there something on there that you're going to donate? If there's things up there you need to donate, put it in the donate box. And your donate box shouldn't be a box that's special. It shouldn't have donate written on it. Just put it in a box so that you don't feel like you got to keep that box because it's got donate written on it. And work on that dresser for 30 minutes at the most. If it's not done, then on Tuesday you work on it. Well, Tuesday is my free day. So Wednesday, I would work on it 30 more minutes. So I would work on the dresser until that project was done. Maybe it took me 2 days, maybe it took 3 days to get that dresser top cleared. And then
Mhm.
every day you're going to make sure you keep it cleared.
Mhm.
Then next you're going to start on your closet.
Mhm.
The closet has the top shelf. You've got the middle shelf. You've got like shoes in the closet. You've got clothes in the closet. You've got the floor, and you've got the shelves. So that's one of the things that me and Flight Lady Cat were talking about, because we were talking about my closet. So that's why I can relate to this so easily, because we were talking about my closet. But look at that top shelf in your closet, and is it a 15-minute increment? Is it two 30-minute increments? How long is it going to take you to do the top shelf? And just work 15, 20, 30 minutes at a time until that top shelf is done. And then once you're done with that, then you're going to move down to your clothing. And the clothing, you're going to
Mhm.
work on decluttering. And just,
Mhm.
again, you're giving some away, some of them you're donating, and some of them you're going to just have to trash. You got too much stuff. And just work at it in that way, Maxine, until you're done. And again, put a start date so that you know what date you're going to start on the bedroom project, and call it that, the bedroom project, because you've got a start date and you'll have an end date. So, Leona, if you want to jump in there while I try to see what Blue Skies is sending me.
Okay. Well, one other thing, and I took a feng shui class, and one
Ooh,
thing that really helps me is to make sure, number one, that your bed is made and you want it to look nice. And the dresser would be the second thing, because those are the two major things that you're going to look at when you walk into your bedroom. And to keep in mind that if it's cluttered, if those two things are cluttered, that tends to affect your sleep and how well you sleep. And
mhm,
so you want to be able to walk into your bedroom. You know, your drawers may not be as perfect as you'd like. Everything may not be folded perfectly. The closet may not be as perfect as you want. But at least you can walk into your bedroom and find some peace in
Mm-hmm.
your bedroom. So to start there and then go into the closet. Now, what I tend to do is that I take the donation bag, the donation box, the trash bag, and I don't put them in the bedroom. I actually sit them in the hallway outside. So when I remove them, I literally remove it from the room.
Okay.
And so the trash goes out. And you won't have that tendency to want to bring it back in, because once you start to see, and it's amazing how much clarity that you will feel. Your mind will start to feel just a breath of spring as things start to clear out. And even if you could take 5 or 10 minutes every day and take a few things out, those little small projects, take a few things out while
Mhm.
you're waiting on the water to boil for whatever it is that you're going to fix for dinner. Take a few things out of the closet. And then by the time you really start to work on those 15-minute increments, that closet's going to move along very quickly. Plus, you're going to be able to walk into your bedroom and actually feel like you can breathe. So, because it sounds like that Maxine's at that point of where she just doesn't even want to go in there because she knows she has these projects hanging over her. So, at least if we can give her a clear vision,
Yes.
then she can start to work on some of those other small projects along the way.
I didn't think about the bed, and that's always where I start. I make the bed first, but I didn't think
Mhm,
of that. So I'm glad you brought that up. So that if the bed is the largest piece of furniture in the room, so if the
mhm,
bed's not made, it makes the whole room look disordered. So if you make your bed every day, you've at least got that oasis, that place of peace that you can lay down and rest. So you're right about that. And I thought of the dresser first, just because it's like usually right next to the bed, or you can see
mhm,
the bed, that kind of thing. So thank
mhm,
you though for bringing that up,
mhm.
and then just work through it that way. Let's see now, the notes we had are here. So
One other thing, too, for Maxine to just keep in mind, we are all works in progress,
yes.
and nothing gets done quickly. So, if you plan the project, say, for 2 weeks, and it doesn't get done by the end of 2 weeks, then add a few more days onto it and don't beat yourself up. You just needed a couple extra days to finish it up, but at least you've made the effort to get started. That's the main thing, getting started.
Definitely getting started. And that's why I do the 15-minute task. Like I write
Mhm,
those down in my planner, because
mhm,
I know next week what four things I'm going to do. And I built
mhm,
that exercise, that muscle up, so that I already know, okay, so next week is week 3. So what 3 things am I going to do in zone 3
mhm,
to deep clean my house? But right now, after talking to Cat, she's like, okay, so now you need to work on that closet. That means you're not doing zone cleaning until you get this done. So, Meg,
mhm,
don't worry about zone clean or deep cleaning anything else, because your project is going to be your bedroom, and which
mhm,
your oasis, your place of peace. So, let me read this week's apron note. And it says to be fully present for your family and friends. And
mhm,
Blue Sky says that our Anderwill is the Apron Notes winner. And I believe our Anderwill's name is Rachel. So our
mhm,
Anderwill, what you'll want to do is send me your mailing address at this email. Don't put it in the chat, but send it to this email address, your mailing address, and I'll send you out your apron note. And be fully present for your family and friends. And Leona, you'll get a copy of this apron note since you're my guest tonight.
Oh, thank you. Well, I do have to say, for those who have not recently ordered an apron, I love those little apron tags that you're putting in the
Oh,
wrappings. Oh
thank
my gosh,
you.
it is so cute. It's in my planner. I
Oh,
made it into my bookmark
good.
for
You
my
should see how
planner.
Blue Skies made those. For her, she has a business called Maxi Blue Studios, and she creates those kind of things. and she made
Oh,
those for me. So I'm so glad you like them. I just started using them recently. So thank you, Blue Skies. You hear that? So people are liking those. But
it
okay.
is cute.
So anyway, what do you think this means? Be fully present for your family and friends. And Rachel Anderwill, I believe it's Rachel, but it's R Anderwill. Send me your email address. I mean your mailing address. So what do you think that? What does that mean to you, Leona?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
being fully present, um, sometimes we tend to get caught up in stuff. And while our bodies are in the place, but sometimes our mind is so caught up on everything else. And so to be fully present to me is that my mind, my heart, everything that I'm thinking of and what I'm doing, my reason, my purpose is all about my family
Yeah.
and how that is going to, whatever I'm doing is going to impact my family.
Okay. And I have a good example of this tonight too. And I agree. It's like when your family and friends are there, be present and not focused on something else you've got to do. So tonight, when I was getting ready for tonight's show, and that's part of why I couldn't find my notes when I was like, where did my notes go? So just as I was getting those ready, Blue Skies and my other sister dropped over. Well, I knew Blue Skies was coming because I had made tacos yesterday for Taco Tuesday. I made the
Mhm.
best black bean and chicken taco, and
Ooh.
coming over to get that. Well, my other sister dropped over to see her, so they both came. And I look around and I'm like, they're both standing here at the door. So I wasn't expecting that. And while they were here, literally, just as they walked in, Kenya from Kenya's Decor Corner called. And so I had her on the phone, and then my daughter called on the iPad. And I'm like, oh, I thought, okay. And plus, and I had been looking at a webinar on Instagram before they got here. So I closed out the webinar on Instagram. I
Mhm.
talked to Kenya for a hot second and said, look, people just dropped in. I'm going to have to go. And then we were just able to kind of talk with my daughter and my two sisters, and she was glad to be able to see them. So it worked out. But I thought, okay, this one sister particularly doesn't drop by often. So I did want to take it
Oh.
that time. So that's a little bit why I was a little
Mhm.
populated when things got started today too.
But that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that is the way it goes. Okay, so let's see something else. Cecilia, oh, so Miss Davis says, "Good evening. I love your channel, and this is my first live." Oh, Miss Davis, thank you so much. I am
Oh.
so glad you are here. Welcome, and we hope that there's much that happens that'll make you come back. And then you want to be sure and check out Leona's channel, which is Ebony, Ivy, and Time in the Kitchen with Leona Dooley. This woman cooks it up on Saturday morning. You guys have got to see her. We're planning something together, and she was talking about a couple of things. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't cook quite as fast as you do because I mean, she is just moving. It takes me a little longer. So you guys have to be on the lookout for the collaboration we're going to do together. But there's that. Now, Cecilia McMillan says she has ADHD and her piles are a wild pile of thoughts and things that she wants to finish eventually.
Mhm.
Now, I know that's a challenge. Um, Cecilia, if you have ADHD, one of the problems that you get into is that your mind is spinning with so many ideas that you get easily distracted.
Mm.
So I'm thinking that probably you might want to write things down more and write down whatever your focus is for the day. Let's say maybe for this week, you have 4 tasks you want to do this week. So Monday, you want to clean the grates over the stove. So you put that sticker up and then kind of maybe put that sticker up in a couple places until you come back to get that done. And I would suggest not to plan more than one thing a day so that you can accomplish.
Mhm.
What do you think, Leona?
I agree. I agree. And probably she wants to put that post-it note in a place that she knows for sure she's going to walk past or have to look at. I know I used to put mine on the refrigerator door. So every time I would touch the refrigerator door, the post-it would be there to as a reminder, or on the bathroom mirror even. I've done that. But oh
I
yes, on the
so
phone.
maybe put a reminder in the phone because I know Blue
Hmm.
Sky uses her Alexis as a reminder to set reminder.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
maybe that could help too, Cecilia.
That's true.
Yeah. And then Kim says she has areas that she decluttered during COVID, and now she has areas that are easy to clean, but she still has areas of too much stuff. She also has a lot of to-do projects sitting around. Oh, don't even talk about that. But
Oh Lord,
yeah.
that's a never-ending saga.
Mhm.
Oh, we always have things that we need to do, and we just have to give ourselves some grace, and we put it into the plan.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So one of the people want to know. Oh, here's Leona's channel. Blue Skies put that up in the
Thank you.
so that people can see it. And guys, do check her out. You will love her channel, particularly you young homemakers, even you seasoned homemakers, and you're needing to figure out what's for dinner. She has so many good ideas. So be sure to check her out. Somebody made a suggestion. Oh, Rachel made a suggestion to Maxine to take pictures so that she can see the progress. That's a
Mhm.
great idea.
It is.
And then party of six are glad that we're both here at the same time.
It's good to see you.
And then somebody wanted to know if I'm going to be using the She's in Her Apron planner next year. Yes. As a matter of fact, I thought I had it up here because I was working. Oh, here it is. I was cleaning off this shelf yesterday. Blue Skies was helping me do something with my uh, printer. I couldn't figure something out. So I had to
Mhm.
take all the books off the shelf and put them on the sofa so that I could move the bookshelf out because it was too heavy otherwise. So I've got some of the books put back, some of them have not. But so let me get that off the screen. So this is Kimmy's She's in Her Apron planner.
Mhm.
And I have been enjoying using it. And one of the reasons why I like using it is because she's got it set up according to like the weeks of the Fly Lady cleaning system. You've got two
Mhm.
calendars that are in there. And then in the front, she's got the different weeks with all the different tasks that you can consider doing in your house and then space
Mhm.
extra ones in. There's a place in there for you to um, write your budget, do inventory, just all kinds of things. And I really like it. This is the one I used some stickers on. Debbie Jo gave me some stickers and I used that. But I really like this planner. And so I definitely plan to buy it again next year.
Mhm.
Yes, Rachel, you won the apron note. And the apron note says to be fully present for family and friends. But I just like the way it's organized. It's really pretty much organized like the Fly Lady cleaning system because that's the system
Mhm.
Kimmy uses as well. And as a matter of fact,
Mhm.
she used to be a mentee of Fly Lady Cat. She was with Fly Lady Cat for a couple of years.
Oh.
That's why she set up her planner the way she does because Kimmy also, she'll say in a minute, she says, I've got ADHD. She said, my mind is always going in a lot of different directions. And
Mhm.
so she set the planner up the way she did to help her stay focused.
Mhm.
So there's that. And then, so Patricia's trying to decide which kind of a planner to get. That planner also comes in
In a quarterly.
a
In a
quarterly.
quarterly, yeah, that's the one I had. I had the quarterly.
Oh, you've got that one?
I have the quarterly. Mm-hmm.
A yearly one, and you can see how big
Mm-hmm.
the quarterly one
Mm-hmm.
is smaller because it's just got each 3 months, but
Mm-hmm.
a new cover, so it's like getting a new planner every quarter. So that's kind of nice too. But let's see, we got some more comments over here about the apron note. Yes. So OJ Reynolds says that the apron note means to work on, she's got
Mm-hmm.
being present. Since her daughter passed away 2 years ago, she hasn't been present. She's always thinking of her and barely getting her house going. You
Mm,
know, OJ, it's when you lose a family member, someone you love, it is very difficult to get
mhm,
through it. Notice I didn't say over it. I said through it
mm-mm.
because you never
That's
get
right.
over it, but you
Mhm,
can begin to get through it. And what you might consider doing is thinking about different things you can do each day to show an accomplishment, to give yourself a win. Because you're
mhm,
probably experiencing some depression associated with that. And I
mhm,
would encourage seeing a therapist. A lot of people
mhm,
believe in therapy, but honey, trust me, one who went to therapy for 3 years, it saved my life. Therapy
mhm,
is so helpful. So if
mhm,
you're a therapist, and a lot of times your insurance will help you, I would certainly.
mhm,
But if you can't do that route, usually there are grief counselors associated with different agencies in your city. So just kind of look to see what might be there. But just set yourself one little task every day, just one
mhm,
little thing to do, and do that. And then the next day, one other little thing and do that.
mhm,
You know, the lady that developed the Fly Lady cleaning system, she did it because she was struggling with depression, just severe
mhm,
and going through therapy. And she
mhm,
said that she went through it. She would just, okay, her goal would just be wash my face.
mhm,
Something that simple. And eventually she got through that and she realized how the series of steps is so helpful. So think about
mhm,
that, OJ. And I'm so sorry
mhm.
you're so
I
struggling
know.
so deeply with this.
Mhm.
Any suggestions for her, Leona? While I look at
I certainly agree with everything you said. And, that's the advantage, I think, of the baby steps is that you're just kind of putting one foot in front of the other.
Mhm,
And, some of us are able to get through a little faster than others.
mhm,
And or we wrap ourselves up into things
mhm,
to kind of avoid thinking about the rough roads. And I have a tendency to do that. I
yeah,
get caught up into, I'll get and tie myself up into something else and just kind of push whatever it is out of the way for the moment, even though it's still there.
mhm.
But the baby steps are nice because each day you're taking that one step in a positive direction. And I think it just tends to help build you up over time, slowly, but definitely it is healing. And you might even consider if you have a pastor who may know of a counselor that you could work with, just to think of options where, if money is an issue or insurance may be an issue, that may be another option of someone that you could just sit and talk to.
Yes, yes. Someone, Kim said that the organized soprano gives tips for folks that have ADHD. So
Mhm,
I highly encourage you to consider checking out the organized soprano here on YouTube. She's got a
mhm.
wonderful channel and she is so funny. So check her out for those tips. Um, let's see, what else have we got? People are talking to OJ.
Mhm.
Let's see. Oh, the Clutterbug also has a channel on her video on her channel about cleaning and her ADHD too.
Ah,
Yeah, that's something to think about.
mhm.
There's Dee. Hey, Dee. She was on your show too.
Hey, Dee. Mhm.
Good to have you here. So let's see. Oh, thank you. You are quite welcome. Tay Tay, you are quite welcome.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, well, I understand that, unicorn lady, but
mhm,
you'll have to just maybe try to look around in your area to see what you might be able to find at
mhm,
kind of a reasonable rate that you can afford, because certainly therapy is something that if it's something you need, sometimes it's important to find a way to
mhm,
get it. And I don't know, like Leona was saying, you might be able to talk to your pastor or someone like that. There might be a women's health organization
Mm-hmm.
that can help with some things too. So let's see. Okay, so I got the address from Rachel. And there's that. Okay. So let's talk about clutter stops real quick because we've just about used up our time. Let's talk about clutter stops. And I mentioned it earlier, but nobody
Mm-hmm.
picked up on it. And usually I'll get a couple of comments like, but a clutter stop is when you stop clutter in its tracks. When you
Mm-hmm.
have a place that you know tends to collect clutter, like this flat top here could be a place to collect clutter,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't because it's the top of my printer and it doesn't. But this spot right here, when I'm sitting here working, it's real easy for me to just to put it right there and then turn back and
Mm-hmm.
keep doing it. So where are the spots in your home that tend to collect clutter, and you'll want to stop it in its tracks by when you do your daily sweeps of the house? That's what
Mm-hmm.
we're looking for.
And so often you have to swing through there more than once through the day. If it's like our house, you'll go through in the morning and then after lunch, there's something there. And it may not be large, but still, there are things that just tend to get dropped in those spots.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, all right. I think we have covered all of my points that I wanted to cover. Leona, do you have anything else you want to cover?
Well, actually, I'm honored and thankful that you allowed me to come in tonight, and it's wonderful to get to talk to everyone. And this has been a great topic,
Oh,
and
yeah.
certainly one that I use all the time in the kitchen as well as around the house. So we're going to be talking about some of those tasks that need to be done in the kitchen coming up very soon on the channel. So I invite anyone who's interested in those things that are done in the kitchen and for our family that you're going to want to tune in to Ebony, Ivy, and Time. And I thank you for allowing me to be here tonight.
All right. So, guys, we are going to call it a day. Leona, I'll see you in the green room for a hot
All
set.
right.
And everyone else, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been a fun conversation. Don't forget, we've got our trick or treat apron and our grace on sale through the Apron Diva. And be sure and check out my video that I posted on my last 15-minute task to show you what I
Mhm.
had going on in my house. One thing I didn't show you guys, oh, you guys will get a good laugh out of this. So when I reached up to take that grate down,
Mhm.
I took the grate down and there were like 8 dead flies laying on that grate. I was like, ah! And my husband was like, what's wrong? I says, there's dead flies in here. Now I'm like, he says, why are they dead? I'm like, yes. How on earth can a flies get in the grate that comes down like it's where the I don't know, smoke, exhaust, whatever.
Mhm.
How can a fly get in there?
I don't know.
I was just like, oh my goodness. My husband laughed at me, but we had to get that checked out. But I got a thing about bugs.
Yep.
It was
And
funny.
that's one of the
But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. And I wanted to share that with you guys. I didn't leave that on the video, but I'm sharing it with you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.